Take a deep breath. That invisible gas filling your lungs, it's what keeps you alive. It powers your cells, fuels your thoughts, and sustains every heartbeat. But what if I told you it also holds the power to destroy you? Oxygen, the very essence of life, yet a hidden killer we breathe every day. For billions of years, Earth was a world without oxygen. Then an infinitesimally small organism turned everything upside down. It unleashed oxygen into the atmosphere, a shift so monumental that it changed the course of evolution forever. And while that oxygen allowed life to flourish, it also brought destruction, triggering mass extinctions, accelerating the process of aging, and acting as a silent toxin. We've long considered oxygen our ally, our lifeline. But today we'll dive beneath the surface to unravel its darker truths. From ancient cataclysms to its microscopic role in your body, oxygen's story is a paradox. Life giver and life taker. This is the story of oxygen, the invisible killer we breathe every day. Let's rewind the clock. About 2.5 billion years to a time when Earth's atmosphere was a soup of methane, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. For life, it was an alien world, microscopic and anaerobic, thriving in an oxygen-free environment. And then they arrived. Cyanobacteria, microscopic photosynthetic organisms, deceptively simple, began to do something revolutionary. They used sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into energy. But in doing so, they unleashed a dangerous byproduct, oxygen. It leaked into the oceans and into the air. At first, it was a trickle, barely noticeable. But over millions of years, the streams became rivers, then a flood, until oxygen saturated the planet. This event, known as the Great Oxygenation Event, was both a miracle and a catastrophe. For cyanobacteria, it was just another day in the primordial soup. But for the anaerobic life thriving on Earth, it was apocalypse. Oxygen was toxic to them. As the gas built up, it wiped out vast swathes of organisms in a global mass extinction, the first known in Earth's history. Some organisms adapted. Some developed defenses against oxygen's harmful effects, finding ways to harness its power. And thus, the evolutionary arms race toward complex multicellular life began. But one thing became clear. Oxygen was now a double-edged sword, beautifully destructive. The rise of oxygen didn't just wipe out life, it reshaped Earth itself. Before the Great Oxygenation Event, oceans were rich in dissolved iron, giving the seas a murky, reddish-brown hue. Cyanobacteria's oxygen changed that. It bonded with the iron, causing massive rust deposits to settle on the seafloor, forming the banded iron formations geologists study today. It also altered the planet's climate, triggering a snowball Earth event, an era when the entire planet froze over. But oxygen's dramatic role in planetary transformation didn't end there. Fast forward hundreds of millions of years, and oxygen would be a driving force behind some of Earth's greatest bursts of life and its darkest mass extinctions. Consider the Cambrian explosion, when life suddenly diversified into countless strange and beautiful forms. Oxygen played a key role, allowing larger, more complex organisms to thrive. But then came the flip side. For example, during the Permian-Triassic extinction, or the Great Dying, shifts in oxygen levels contributed to the devastation. Oxygen is an unforgiving gas. In excess or in deficit, it can destabilize ecosystems, wipe out species, and reset the clock on evolution. Oxygen's legacy is one of vibrancy and catastrophe, creating worlds only to destroy them. But the strangest chapter in oxygen's story isn't in the formation of Earth's ecosystems. It's happening inside your body right now. Oxygen powers you at a cellular level. Your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, use oxygen to produce energy in a process called cellular respiration. But there's a catch. That efficient energy production generates byproducts called reactive oxygen species, or free radicals. Think of them as molecular bad boys rampaging through your cells. Free radicals are unstable. They attack your DNA, your proteins, your cell membranes, damaging the very structures that sustain life. Over time, this oxidative stress contributes to aging. Wrinkles, graying hair, diminished energy, all of it can be traced in part to the molecular chaos caused by oxygen. And it doesn't stop there. Free radicals are implicated in a host of diseases: cancer, heart disease, neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's. The gas that gives us life is also silently, steadily unraveling it. Of course, your body has defense mechanisms. Antioxidants, for example, which neutralize free radicals. But as you age, those defenses weaken, allowing oxidative damage to accumulate. You could think of oxygen as a fire. It fuels the energy of life, but if unchecked, it'll scorch the vessel holding it. Too little and life suffocates. Too much and the gas becomes toxic. Take oxygen toxicity, a condition that occurs when oxygen levels are too high. Deep sea divers know this all too well. When a diver breathes oxygen under high pressure, like during extended dives, it can cause seizures, lung damage, and even death. What's startling is how narrow this threshold really is. The oxygen content in Earth's atmosphere is about 21%. Raise that concentration just slightly, and the risks of fires, explosions, and physiological damage skyrocket. In fact, some scientists suggest that one reason oxygen levels stayed relatively stable over geological time was because rising too high would have spelled disaster for life. Our relationship with oxygen constantly walks this fine line, a balancing act of survival. So here we are, at the intersection of awe and foreboding. Oxygen is perhaps the greatest paradox of life, a savior and a destroyer, a giver and a taker. It sculpted the earth, ushered in complexity, and sustains us, even as it quietly erodes us. But here's the thing. Understanding oxygen's dual nature has unlocked incredible possibilities. Medicine has harnessed hyperbaric oxygen therapy to treat wounds and infections. Antioxidants are being studied for their potential to extend life and fight disease. And in laboratories around the world, researchers are exploring ways to mitigate oxygen's darker side, from slowing down oxidative damage to preventing oxygen toxicity. Oxygen may never be fully tamed. It's far too elemental for that. But as science delves deeper into its mysteries, there's hope that we can learn to live in harmony with this invisible force that shapes every breath we take. So the next time you inhale, remember, you're breathing in the gas that builds worlds and topples them. Thanks for joining us on this journey through oxygen's hidden story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mind-expanding explorations of the world around us. Until next time, breathe easy, but not too easy.